Now, how do you feel as an attorney that we can do the next time? Because we'll be fighting this thing again. The ballot measure 8, you know, did not end the gay issue. The gay issue is not going to go away. And anytime we get any bills on a state, city, or federal, you know, any government level, you know, you can count on another voters' referendum. These people will be out again in full force. What are some of the things that we didn't do in this last crusade that we can do to enlighten people and present more positive gay images than what these people that we did not do in the last campaign? How do you feel about that?
Well,
if we were to face it again, how do you feel we should deal with it the next time?
well, part of it would be more education.
Yes.
Because the people, as we say, they don't understand it, so they fear it.
Mm-hmm.
I think education is the most important thing if we never get this across.
Yes.
But too many people just voted by emotional thinking,
mm-hmm.
by emotionalism, not thinking really.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one way, and people have got to get more acquainted with homosexuals and realize they're the same as anybody else.
Right.
Everybody works with them. They're 10, 12, 15% of the people are homosexual. Everybody knows them. They work
mm-hmm.
with them all the time. They just don't know that they are.
Right.
They have them in their own families, too, and may not know it.
Oh, yes.
I had so many people say, well, they don't like homosexuals, but then you point out, well, so-and-so, your good friend, he's homosexual. Well, he's different. That's different.
Yeah.
But
mm-hmm.
all the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not the fact. They're all okay.
That's right, and you know that yourself, you know, from working with, you know, I worked for you as your secretary when I was freelance legal secretary.
Yes, you did a fine job.
Thank you. And
I may call on you again.
Okay, wonderful, good. Yeah, now you just got a job recommendation on the air. Isn't that wonderful? And but you know, when I came in, you know, of course, you knew that I was, you know, was a transsexual.
Yes.
You know, when you hired me to come in and fill in a few times when your secretary was on vacation. But yet, when we worked side by side in the office, even though I was transsexual, it didn't really make me any different than any other secretary, really.
You were better than many.
Well, thank you. But, you know, bisexuality really had nothing to do with it.
I didn't inquire about that at all when I was looking to hire you. I inquired, how good is she as a secretary?
Mm-hmm.
That was what I wanted to know.
Sure.
That's all anyone needs to know.
That's right. That's exactly right. And, you know, you and Susie had worked, or the three of you, I mean, you Bill and Ann and Susie, your daughter, had worked 10 years ago in the Eugene referendum.
Oh, yeah.
When gay rights, civil rights was defeated in Eugene on a 3-to-1 basis. And 10 years later with ballot measure 8, the gay rights issue passed in Eugene. It was Lane County, it was one of the counties that it passed. So imagine the progress we've made in 10 years right there. The small town, the rural areas in the state of Oregon is where they really targeted it with their vicious propaganda mm-hmm. and their radio commercials. And in some of the smaller towns, you know, ballot measure 8 passed on a 3-to-1 even yet. So that's, I see in the rural areas is where education and enlightenment needs to be done, and I'm hoping through this television ministry, you know, we can expand into these areas, because on this television ministry we're doing just that, presenting positive images and showing people, you know, that because someone's sexual orientation is gay, that in and of itself does not make them an evil person or someone that's out to corrupt youth and you know, the recruitment of children, of youth. You know, they say that they claim that homosexuality is a choice someone chooses, and they claim that gay people are, since they can't have children of their own, that they're out to recruit other people, and that's how the gay
community
keeps going. How are your feelings on that?
That's so much hogwash, to use a polite word.
Yeah, that's putting it very, very mildly.
Well, I'm on the air.
Yeah.
But. Well, heavens, you interviewed a child, a straight child of a gay parent here not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Marvelous family background, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it would be laughable if it weren't so serious.
Yeah.
Some of the best teachers I know are gay.
Mm-hmm. Grades at all
at all levels of school, and they have, in fact, Father John McNeil in his book, which is a number of years old now, The Church and the Homosexual, he pointed out that homosexually oriented people are particularly good in the serving and the helping professions, in the church, in teaching and social service, because they themselves have had to be so sensitized to their own orientation that they have much more empathy with other people and are more patient than many hets like me.
And you deal also a lot with parents, other parents who are struggling with the fact that their children are gay.
Yes, we do. We do a lot of talking to people. And I think one of the things that helps them the most is meeting other parents and also meeting other gay people in our Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays group here in Portland, which meets the fourth Wednesday of every month, 7 o'clock at a Lutheran church, except for this month of February when we meet on the third Tuesday. We have a real, it's interesting to see the parents meet other gay people and realize that their own child, whom they love dearly, is like a lot of other awfully nice men or women.
Exactly. There was a wonderful article about you in the yesterday's Oregonian, the local paper. In fact, you've been in the news media quite a bit over the years. I remember 10 years ago, also when you were on the front page of the paper.
We remember.
Yes. What kind of reaction when you first came out, in the news media, did you get from like your peers, colleagues in the legal profession?
Well, some of them said they're very interesting. I'd like to talk with you more about that sometime. And some of the people I thought would be most critical of us were most supportive.
You never know.
No, that's I was very much surprised.
Well, one reason, though, that we're able to be out is that Bill is wonderful and feels that he has nothing to lose in his practice. That if people don't want him as a lawyer, they don't deserve him. And
Thank you.
Well, and that's one reason that you see a lot of us, because many of our parents cannot let themselves be known publicly. They can within our parents' group.
Yes.
But they cannot be in the media, so that's why you sometimes get a shepherd saturation point.
You say they cannot, it's because they're afraid to, or they might jeopardize their job,
they might jeopardize their job, and they might jeopardize their child's job.
And that's one of the reasons for the passage of gay rights legislation.
Yes.
And although all of the gay rights legislation in the world is not going to change the prejudices within people, those kind of changes are brought about by the love of God in people's hearts and by people being enlightened and realizing that they were wrong on the gay issue. And there's a lot of parents of gays, there are a lot of children whose parents are gays, and there are a lot of gay people themselves who are afraid to come out for fear of ridicule, for fear of loss of job, for fear of housing. And some of them have good reason to remain closeted.
You bet.
But you and Bill have stood out in the forefront as figureheads in a certain sense, to represent these people, and also to give them the courage to do, what you have done. Like, you have a private law practice, and it's well established in the city of Portland, and I'm sure you didn't lose any clients when you came out. Did the thought even enter your mind of that possibility when
Well, yes, the thought entered my mind, but nothing seemed to happen that way.
Right, and maybe that's encouragement to other people who are listening to this show right now, that maybe people that they think wouldn't give them support will give them the support, but how are they going to get the support if they don't take that first step and come out and let them know? In other words, people are only going to be only going to learn and be enlightened as more and more people do what you're doing and come out and have the courage to come out in the open and say, yes, I'm gay, or yes, my mother is a lesbian, or my father is a gay man, and I'm proud of it, and make the statements, and sort of let the chips fall where it may. I've done that on this television show.
You sure have.
And I'm hoping that the courage that is, manifested on this show will encourage other people to do it, and that process is an, never-ending, enlightenment and educational process. I am so honored. Our time is almost up. I am so honored that both of you consented to appear on the show with me today. I asked you at real short notice, and the article came out in the paper about you yesterday, and my associate producer actually showed it to me, you know, and said, why don't you call them up? Because we had another guest who had canceled or had to postpone. And I said, oh, I can't call Bill and Ann up at the last minute and ask them. They're real busy. But I did, and you said you'd be happy to do it. And I'm just delighted and honored. My guests today on this show are, in my opinion, two of the finest people in the city of Portland. And they're my favorite people. They have 5 daughters, 3 of whom are gay, and 1 who is very open and active in political issues. And the Shepherd family is a delightful family. They support the heterosexual family unit, and they support civil rights and decency for all people. And I'm honored to know both of you as my friends, and I admire you immensely, and I praise God for the love that has flowed between the 3 of us over the years. And when I've worked in your office, and when we've sweat blood, we've shed tears together, and we have fought for human rights and dignity. And I'm proud to have you in my life, and I hope that I hope that my life has been half the blessing that yours has been to me.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Paula.
It's a privilege to be here.
Yeah, you bet it is. Thanks,
Thank you. And remember out there, be proud of who and what you are. And by being proud of who and what you are and making a public statement and being the person that God created you to be, why don't you try it? You just might be surprised at the love and the support that will come rushing your way. See you next week. God bless.